Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this question, I would like to present our presentation about our article. The title is Readiness for Change Level of Elementary School Principals in 3 Cities in Indonesia. The author in this article are first Professor Dr. Rusdinal, MPD, and me, Hade Afriansyah, MPD. Okay. Next, the background of this research is, as we see here, development need change and change need readiness. As we know, the title of this research is Readiness for Change Level of Elementary School Principals in 3 Cities in Indonesia. Now, we know every school, every education need development in order to be better than before. So every development needs change. How can we change? How can we develop without the change? Without the change, it means we are static in the same position before, even worse. So we need change to make education develop. And every change, if fixed, we know that development need change. So change need readiness. Readiness first, change, and education will be developed. How can change will happen, will success implemented without readiness? Every principal need to be ready to implement the change first before implement the change. So more readiness, more ready the principal, more success it will be. That's why we want to do research in this topic. So the population and sample, now we talk about it. The population of this research is the principals in elementary school in 3 cities in Indonesia, namely Padang City, Malang City, and Gorontalo City. We can see in this slide, in Padang City, the population in Padang City contribute 338, and Malang City 286, and Gorontalo 99 principals. So in total, the population is 723. To get a sample in this research from the population, we use a formula. From the formula, we can get the sample in Padang City. We get sample 30 principals, and Malang City 24 principals, and Gorontalo City is 22 principals. So the total of sample in this research is 76 principals. Yeah. I got it. The formula we use to make the sample in this research is we use Slovin formula with the error margin 10%. So the next we will talk about that description. From the instrument we get the date, and the description is, we can see together here. The main of the date description is 83.91 and standard deviation is 8.288 and the total sample is 76 principles. So here we can see that the date is normal. We use this histogram is normality graph, but we can see here the graph is higher in right side than the left side. So it means this date is bigger than the rate, but it's still normal because the graph show us like that. The next, the result and discussion. Here we can see that there are 3 indicators to measure the readiness for change. The first is knowledge about change, and second, attitude, value, and belief, and the last is school system support. Knowledge about the change. We talk a little about the knowledge about change. Maybe we agree with this statement. Every principal needs to know about knowledge about the change. How can the principals ready to implement the change without the knowledge about the change? So the knowledge about the change is really important for the principals to make the change. So we can say that the principal will be ready to implement the change when he or she are ready to change, and the clue is when they have knowledge, know well about the knowledge about the change. And here we see that the level of knowledge about the change from the principals in 3 cities in Indonesia is in high level categories. And the attitude, value, and belief. We talk about the attitude, value, and belief a little bit first. Attitude, value, and belief. It is needed for principal to have belief that the change will make their organization, their school be better. That's very important for the principal. They have belief, the most belief that the change will make their institution, their organization, their school be better after they implement the change. So knowledge is important for the principal. If we want to say the principal's ready to change, and belief, value, attitude is important too. And here we can see that the attitude, value, and belief from the principal in 3 cities in Indonesian is in high level categories. And the last is school system support. You know, the system is include everything about the school, and the most important here is the senior, specifically senior management, senior manager. So how can we make change in the school when the senior is disagree with their change? So senior is the part of the system, and they are quiet in organization. So the senior is know well about the organization before, how the organization growth from the beginning. So we need senior support, and the senior is one of the part of the system in the school and have biggest influence to change. So if we want to make change, so we should ensure that senior agree with that change. So here we can see that the school system support is in high level categories. So the mean or the rate of this indicator level is in 89% or in high level categories. So the conclusion is, in this research, is based on the result of research. It is known that the level of achievement of respondents regarding the readiness of school principals to accept change is such as before, 89% or in high category. And last slide is recommendation. Based on the conclusion, the readiness for change is still not maximized. So we can say that we want to make the readiness for change is more than this level, maybe 19 or little bit under the 10, under 100%. So to rise it, we need effort. So the effort are still needed to maximize the readiness for change in terms of indicators in the study. Yes, I think this research is needed to do in all schools in Indonesia before make change. So the government have to ensure that every principal in Indonesia are ready to change. So before to make the change, because if the principals are not ready to change, so the change will be worse, will not give the profits. So this is the end of this presentation of our article. See you next time. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.